we can defer to the World Health Organization, which is, don't forget, a public health organization, meaning politics and health. Public means politics. So it's got a political aspect too, and obviously they've been infiltrated largely by China, and they were carrying water for China and helping China cover up the illness early on. The World Health Organization, though, now is coming out pretty strongly against the primary method of combating this virus, namely the lockdowns. You have people at the World Health Organization coming out and saying, we need to not only focus on other treatments, we actively need to stop the lockdowns. The lockdowns are hurting everybody.
We in the World Health Organization do not advocate lockdowns as a primary means of control of this virus. The only time we believe a lockdown is justified is to buy you time to reorganize, regroup, rebalance your resources, protect your health workers who are exhausted. But by and large, we'd rather not do it. Just look at what's happened to the tourism industry, for example, in the Caribbean or in the Pacific, because people aren't taking their holidays. Look what's happened to smallholder farmers all over the world because their markets have got dented. Look what's happening to poverty levels. It seems that we may well have a doubling of world poverty by next year. We may well have at least a doubling of child malnutrition because children are not getting meals at school and their parents in poor families are not able to afford it. This is a terrible, ghastly global catastrophe, actually. And so we really do appeal to all world leaders. Stop using lockdown as your primary control method. Develop better systems for doing it. Work together and learn from each other. But remember, lockdowns just have one consequence that you must never, ever belittle, and that is making poor people an awful lot poorer.
That is Dr. David Nabarro from the World Health Organization. You probably won't see that video or hear that statement very much around social media because now the social media are clamping down on what they say is misinformation, but it has nothing to do with the misinformation or the accurate information about the virus. It has everything to do with politics, and this is only going to get worse through the election. The reason that we still have lockdowns today is because of politics. You can look at where the lockdowns are. It always tracks with people's politics. The places that the lockdowns exist aren't doing particularly well on the coronavirus. You look at one of the toughest lockdowns in the entire country was in New York. New York got hit worse than anybody. And the lockdowns didn't seem to help. Actually, in some cases, the lockdowns hurt. There are studies that show that this happened in Italy and in New York, by the way, that by locking people inside, particularly with elderly family members, you actually were putting them in a more dangerous position than you otherwise would have seen. We saw this with the nursing homes in New York. In New York, Governor Cuomo's policies forced people and sent people who were sick with the virus into nursing homes, and guess what happened there? Thousands and thousands of senior citizens died. We won't be able, by the way, to have a full picture of what happened because Cuomo is using his political apparatus to shut down any additional studies of what happened. That's what we're seeing. I mean, if you log onto social media now, it is unbearable because, first of all, every time you log on, they say, did you vote? Did you register to vote? I'm here. If I'm on Instagram, I'm here to see like funny pictures. If I'm on Twitter, I'm here to see mean little sardonic comments. I'm not there because I need a civic education. If you're getting your civics education from Instagram, probably something has gone deeply wrong in our society. But they want to do that because they know that those users are more likely to vote for Democrats, and so they're trying to get you to go out there and support their candidates. And they're trying to suppress information that counters the Democratic narrative, whether it be on widespread unsolicited mail-in voting, which is unprecedented in our country, and obviously shows signs of being open to fraud. We've seen this recently in New Jersey. We've seen this in New York. We've seen this in Texas. So you've got those issues, and then you've obviously got coronavirus. Any comments that are contrary to the Democratic narrative, even if it comes from the World Health Organization, even if it comes from the CDC's website, will be suppressed, which is what's happening right now. I hope you enjoyed that short segment from the Michael Knowles Show. Be sure to check out the full episode linked in the description or download the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts.